Hello everybody, how is it going? My name is Lucas and welcome to the Cajun Guitar Gear Podcast. I'm going to be your host, Mr. Lucas Lecomte, and Happy New Year. This is our first podcast of 2024. Hope everybody had a good holiday season, had a good New Year. Now it's time to resume our grind of our normal life. And we have some interesting stories coming up on today's podcast. Jeff Loomis has split with Arch Enemy, or Arch Enemy split with Jeff Loomis, however you look at it. It is January, so that is NAMM time, so we can talk about a little bit of NAMM. Not too much stuff has launched, being that the holiday season was around, but we have a few little stories. So let's jump right in. Arch Enemy has split with the guitarist Jeff Loomis, announces replacement. This is from Blabbermouth. And who replaced him? Joey Concepcion? I've never heard of that guy before, but he's replaced him. Congratulations, Joey, on your new gig. And let's talk about the split. So Loomis has been an Arch Enemy for about 9 years. And I think he kind of planned this split. I think when he joined the band, he was like, let me ride this out for a little while. And then after, once I've kind of stockpiled some money, I'm probably going to leave. I don't have this on any source or anything. This is just me thinking it out loud. Loomis didn't really write or do anything very much in Arch Enemy. He was kind of just like a, hey, you play this type of thing. Which for Jeff, that's kind of weird because Jeff's like a super duper good guitarist. So for him to not really be involved in writing, I mean, it would kind of suck for him, but it is kind of cool. He can just literally like show up and he's like, hey boss, what I got to play, what I got to do. And he just did it. So I'm sure he got himself a nice, good, fancy paycheck for those 9 years that he was in Arch Enemy. And hey, why not? He got paid. He stockpiled some cash. He launched some signature guitars with Jackson, which his Kellys are awesome. They're some of the best Jackson guitars that are currently out there. So now he gets to leave. And word on the street is that he's jamming with the drummer from Nevermore. He did add Nevermore back in his Instagram profile, which is awesome because Nevermore was a great band. Hopefully he can start a new project, something like Nevermore, and we can jam out and we can have some great new music, and it'd be great. There's been so much reaction to this. But my only really take on this is Jeff stockpiled some money. He got out of Arch Enemy. They announced a replacement. So it all seems, sorry, my nose is itchy. Let me itch my nose. Everybody who's watching can see me itch. He got some money. He got out. He's doing new projects that he like. Everybody's happy. So this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, he's not in there anymore, but it's not really like a super bad thing. And that is it for this story. Now let's move right along to some NAMM news. So it's January, so you know that means NAMM is coming up. The only real big announcement that I've seen, now I need you guys' help on this. Put in the comments down below if you've seen some other people, some other brands that have announced some stuff that's going to be launching. Put it in the comments down below. The only one I really saw was ESP, LTD. Their booths are always really awesome at NAMM. They bring a lot of cool stuff there, and they also bring all the Ingle amps and the Takeman acoustic guitars there. They're going to release some stuff on January 12th and some stuff on January 19th. And then NAMM is from the 25th to the 28th. So we get some new stuff on the way from ESP, which ESP stuff's always great. They launch their stuff's always great. Even if it's just, simple color changes or anything like that. We have some good stuff coming from there. And Ibanez is usually a little bit late. Maybe they're going to drop their stuff. We haven't seen anything from Schecter. Schecter did launch, kind of a little side note, they did launch a new color of the John Brown signature Schecter. It is in a light blue, which it looks so good. Oh, it looks so good. It's kind of the same color as my phone. That, like, light blue like that. That's what that guitar's color is. I really want one of those guitars because I want to compare it to my DeVille. Because that's basically what John Brown's signature guitar is. It's kind of like a Mayonnaise DeVille at home, sort of, because he copied pretty much all the same things, and the pickups are pretty much, I don't say copies, but they're heavily based on the Nail Bomb and Cold Sweat neck pickup and Nail Bomb bridge that he used forever with BKB, Black Bare Knuckle pickups. And I really want to compare it to DeVille. I have a Schecter back there. You can kind of see the headstock. It's a SLS Elite 7 that I have. Anyway, I'm talking a little bit too much about that, sorry. So, I'm going to talk about NAMM a little bit now. That's how we'll close out the podcast. Very short one today, guys. So NAMM is from the 25th to the 28th. This is the first time. Last time I went was 2022. 2021, they canceled. I went in 2020. 2020 was awesome. That was when COVID was rearing his head. 2021, they canceled. 2022 was the first year it came back, but they did it in the summer. I went to that one. That one was, I'll talk about that one. That one was kind of bad. And then last year, they did it in April. And then this year, it's finally back in January. So I made a whole video on this on my channel. I'll stick it in the end. I'll keep my promise and actually stick it at the end of this video if you want to check it out. NAMM needs to make some changes. 2020 was the last good NAMM, in my opinion, because that's when everyone was there. Mayonnaise was there. Fender was there. PRS was there. Gibson had bowed out at that time. But once COVID hit, and once a lot of these guys realized, when I say guys, I mean manufacturers, once they realized that they didn't necessarily need NAMM anymore, they kind of started doing their own stuff. They were doing a lot of stuff remote. They figured all that out because they kind of had to with COVID. A lot of people just aren't coming back to NAMM because they don't see the benefit of it anymore. Because specifically on the big guys, so Gibson is not there, Fender is not there, and PRS is not there. I named those because those are the guys who would rent out entire super big suites on the second and third floor. Gibson pretty much had the entire third floor to themselves. They gave that up, I think, in like 2019 or 2020. They officially bowed out and then come back. And Fender not being there, that's a massive blow because Fender would have and they would rent out like a lot of the second floor. So they'd have their own big section just for Fender stuff. And the biggest blow to me is Jackson, because I loved going to the Jackson booth, man. You had the Loomis stuff that we talked about. You had the Loomis Kellys. You had Misha's signature stuff. You had Dave Davis and stuff. Like, so you have so much cool shit in that specific Jackson's like suite. It was like really cool. And you had the EVH stuff in there too. So you're playing the new EVH amps and you could see, so Fender not being there hurts a lot because a lot of the cool stuff that they have isn't there. And then PRS would rent out a whole big wing and there would just, a lot of people would be in there. It would be the main attractions for NAMM. Since Gibson bought Mesa hasn't been in NAMM in like forever, but Mesa could also be there with Gibson if Gibson was there. So a lot of the cool attractions, I guess you could say, they aren't there so much anymore. And I'm talking about this from a like music industry reporter, because that's kind of like how I would go because I would like film stuff, or like a content creator, I would like film stuff, I'd film performances, talk to people, do stuff like that. NAMM is primarily a trade show, so it's mainly dealers coming to talk with their partners or to make new relationships with people, stuff like that. That's basically what it's there for. So a big collaboration of talking and, you know, making deals and stuff like that. It's really not made for people like me, but I've gotten to go the past couple of years, which I'm very grateful for. And honestly, NAMM is one, if you have a chance to go, please go if you like gear and stuff, because it's one of the best times that you're going to have. Because like going on a vacation, like I'm being real here, I'd rather go to NAMM than go to like Italy or Greece. Just for the fact that like I get to be with a lot of my friends and I get to talk to people about the stuff that I'm interested in. There's no greater feeling than like going on a retreat. Like if you go on like a baseball or football retreat, like a Magic the Gathering retreat or something, where you're around people that do the same thing that you do all the time and they have the same interests as you and you can talk to them a bunch. That is super fun. And for NAMM, for me, was I'd get to see like a lot of my friends, and it would just be like a really fun time for me. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to go to NAMM 2024, and it stings even saying those words. I did have a chance to go. I could go, but I did have a NAMM pass. Probably could have swung a hotel, splitting it with one of my friends, but the problem is money, to be honest with you. It is very expensive to go to NAMM just from the fact that you got to get plane tickets. For me to fly from New Orleans airport out, I usually fly out to the John Wayne airport. It's usually like $200-something, or I can fly to LAX, just depending on where I go. So the plane tickets are a lot less than when I went last time. Last time I went was around $500, but they're like around $200. And then you got to get a hotel. You got to split a hotel with a person, so that's usually like $300. So you got to about $500 in, and then you got to pay for all of your eats, and then you have to pay for Ubers or Lyfts, and then if you're in a car. So going to NAMM, it'll usually run you about $1,000, a little close to $1,000. Which for some, okay, I'm talking about someone specifically who is just going as like a independent like music reporter or whatever, okay, content creator. If you want to look at it like that, and I wish my YouTube channel would generate enough revenue for me to actually like go and pay for it, but it kind of doesn't. Some of the best videos on my channel are from performances from previous NAMMs, like My Animals as Leaders, or Aaron Marshall whenever he was at the Abbasi booth. Those are some of the best things videos on my channel. They get a lot of views, and shorts wise, they've been like great for me. And I love going there and filming it. But the problem with that is in the short term, it doesn't make enough money to help me. Because, I mean, everything that I'm doing, I'm paid for it myself. And, like, I have a day job. I know this is kind of boring, but I'm almost done with it, I promise. I know I have a day job and stuff like that, but since things have gotten so insanely expensive, like, it's hard for me to even put money aside to go to NAMM. Because I know this is probably not interesting, but this is what happens when you grow up and you buy a house. So, like, I live in Louisiana, and since the hurricanes came through, my house insurance has literally doubled. But flood insurance, that's doubled, almost tripled too. So it's very hard to pay for all this stuff. And then I also have my best friend's bachelor party coming up in February, so it would stretch me completely thin. I mean, if I'd sell a guitar, I could go, but that is my NAMM spiel. If you have a chance to go, definitely go. Going back to what I was talking about earlier, a reason a lot of the big guys have kind of bowed out is because the show is insanely expensive. So to rent some of those rooms in the upper deck, I imagine it would be like in the third floor, like to have a big old room. I imagine you're paying 20 grand for that. And you have to weigh the cost of that. So you're paying 20 grand to rent that room, and people are coming in and reporting and looking at your stuff, and you're talking with dealers. But how much of that money are you actually going to, how long is it going to take you to recoup that money, I guess is what you should say. And I mean, I get it, because you have to bring all of that stuff there, set everything up, tear everything down. And then there's an issue too. So setting up all the like displays and stuff, only union workers can touch that, I believe. Say you're a small guitar boutique person, right? Or you're an amp brand. You come in and you have a stand and you want it to look cool. You know how to set it up and take it down, but only union workers can do it, because that's just what the contract is in California. So it's very silly. And California isn't the cheapest place in the world. And this is not me shitting on California. I'm just telling you the basics of everything. So you basically need about $1 grand to go. And I can't do it. I mean, I could, but it would slightly bankrupt me a little bit. And this is not me telling you a sob story. I'm just explaining why I can't go. Because honestly, dude, I would really, really like to go. I could do a podcast from the floor. That would actually be really awesome. I don't know exactly how I would do that, but that would kind of be cool. But I'll be here during NAMM. I'll probably do like a bunch of small, like little like YouTube news story stuff as stuff comes out, just to kind of keep up to date with everything. While I'll be here doing that, and I'll kind of put it together, and then try and film it at night and put it out in the morning sometime, so you guys can kind of keep up of all the stuff that's going on. And I have a few friends going, so I'll get some reports from the ground. Pretty much like I think all my close friends are going, except for like a few. And if you actually live in California, you can just go on the weekend, which is what a lot of my friends do. But anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for this Cajun Guitar Gear podcast. Sorry if everything was kind of a little all over the place and I was rambling. My dogs came in here and bothered me because they've just been annoying as shit this weekend for some reason I don't know. Actually, one of my dogs is named Revv. I named him after the guitar company from Canada. I named him Revv, and he has been revved up this weekend and been bothering me. But thank you so much for watching this podcast. Sorry if it was all over the place. We're back in business. It is 2024. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.